Gloucestershire fell to a two-wicket loss at home to Essex in the One-Day Cup, the defeat coming off the very last ball of a thrilling contest in Bristol. Essex inserted after winning the toss, and Shane Snater began another good day with the ball by having Chris Dent expertly held at slip by Alistair Cook before the batsman had troubled the scorers. Indeed, it was a real struggle for the batsman against the new ball. Ben Charlesworth mightily relieved to get something to hit off Ben Allison. In spite of that shot for six, Gloucestershire had only 36 runs on the board from the first 10 overs, and they were 2 down in the 13th. Ryan Tenduscarter trapping Tom Lace in front for 19 with his first delivery of the match. The Eagles were then gifted a third wicket as James Bracey was run out after a mix-up. Michael Pepper with the throw that had the batsman returning to the pavilion with just a single to his name. And Gloucestershire were on 54 for 4 in the 16th over when Charlesworth's vigil was ended by Simon Harmer, who found plenty of bounce to have the batsman offering William Buttleman a simple catch-up point. Jack Taylor and Graham Van Buren had a rebuilding job to do, although the former wasn't afraid to launch Tenduscarter down the ground for a maximum. But trouble was never far away for the home team, who next lost Van Buren, who on 11 gave Tenduscarter a return catch to leave the Gloucesters on 73 for 5 after 21 overs. It took George Scott to join Taylor to bring up 3 figures for their side, but these boundaries were at a premium. The 100 reached in over number 31. Importantly though, this pair kept their partnership going for some while. It was hard work for both, but they took their time and waited for anything to take advantage of. By the time they got to the 40-over mark, Gloucestershire was still 5 men down with a total of 141 for 5, and that gave them room to attack in the final 10. Taylor played a rather un-Taylor-like innings, but a crucial one. Reaching his 50 off 71 balls, he then looked to push on, knowing that a final score of more than 200 may be a challenge for the Eagles. His partnership with Scott had realised 99 runs in 24 overs when Taylor, with 62 runs to his name, hit Aaron Nija out to Harmer at long on. Scott remained and completed only his second List A 50 off 75 balls before going big off Snater as Gloucestershire looked for a strong finish. They reached 199 for 6 with 14 balls to go, with Matt Taylor also striking a 6, but then a rapid collapse ensued. On 11, Taylor holed out to Tom Westley at long off Snater, who struck again next ball. Scott, whose 64 runs was the best score of his List A career, edged a wide ball to Nijar at third man, and it was 3 and 4 balls for Snater, who ended with figures of 4 for 48 as Josh Shaw also clubbed down the ground to Westley. A 4th wicket fell in 5 deliveries as Jared Warner was out first ball to Allison. Gloucestershire all out for 204 with 5 balls unused. Gloucestershire would have been disappointed with the finish, but Matt Taylor responded by bowling Cook for 5 via the inside edge in the 6th over of the Eagles' reply. The new ball was again difficult to get away, and although Westley, in fine form right now, was able to find the boundary on a couple of occasions, the visitors were still only able to score 31 runs in their 10 overs of power play. Buttleman was made to work really hard. His 14 runs had occupied 41 balls, and he then showed Tom Smith too much of his stumps and was bowled. Halfway through their chase, Essex had reached 84 for 3 and still needed 121 more. But with Josh Rymel supporting his captain admirably, the game was still in the balance as the overs passed by. Westley has had a very good tournament with the bat, and he was raising his bat yet again on completing another 50, this one arriving with his 5th 4 from his 65th ball. With wickets in hand, the Eagles needed 85 runs from 17 overs, but then this fascinating contest changed direction again after Rymel on 30 was bowled behind his legs by Van Buren. Van Buren then did for Tenduscarter, he picking out Lace in the deep to fall for 5. And when Adam Wheater was then bang in front to Matt Taylor for a single, the Eagles had slipped to 136 for 6, 69 runs still required from 11 overs. Taylor ended with the terrific figures of 2 for 22 from his 10 overs, while Van Buren grabbed 3 for 32, removing Harmer for 9 with his final delivery, Bracey with a stumping off a ball which really turned. The Eagles' hopes now rested with Westley, but a slight moment of hesitation cost him. This was a controversial and crucial moment too, it seemed. Bracey knocked a bail off before gathering the throw from Matt Taylor and before breaking the stumps with the ball in his glove. Westley, rightly, questioned the decision, but had to go for 71. The game was certainly shifting. The visitors 44 runs shy of the winning line with 5 overs to go. Nijar then launched Smith over the rope to give his side hope. And that hope was lifted yet more when he went big again offshore. 30 runs had been required with 3 overs to go, but that had been reduced to just 6 off the last one. Warner was handed the ball in just his 5th match, and he allowed only 4 runs to be scored off 5 balls. Snater needed to find 2 more off the last one, and he middled a cut to the fence, sparking wild celebrations in the Essex camp. From 153 for 8, the Eagles had got to 207 for 8 in the nick of time. It was a cruel end to a match which looked to have given Gloucestershire another victory. As it was, they will wipe off their wounds before taking on Hampshire at home on Friday.